Fuel tank's out, the whole back end is stripped, bumper's gone, wipers are gone. This car is completely naked and ready for the next stage, which is a thorough power washing and windshield removal. So let's get that happening. Well, the goal for today, like I said, is to get this outside and clean because it's grungy and I'm tired of crawling through well, I mean, I don't really have to do much more crawling because the car's pretty much stripped down. But once I start getting in the interior to drill spot welds, it's going to be a little tedious if I'm working through everything that's still stuck inside and all the dirt and poop and whatnot. So I have to get all my parts put away and organized and clean so then I can continue to work in here. But I thought I'd try something for fun here. I think this is going to be one of the first. So I've installed a drive shaft in this thing, super high tech, ultra awesome duty. I think it's a 31/32 socket and 3 extensions to get me from the drive shaft to under the hood, where I will install a brand new 20 volt 6 amp hour engine. I think we're going to see if we can at least spin the tires or something here and roll this thing around for fun. Okay, so I don't know that I'd call that successful. I mean, there's rubber bits on the ground and the tire's got a spot on it, but I've also got a block under the axle because a 20 volt drill only has so much torque, and we're going straight into the rear end, which I think was a 336. So the ratio, the step down ratio, like I'm feeding this with 450 RPM on low gear. So I'm still turning 133 or so RPM off the rear end if both tires are turning. Now only turning one, I think you double 133 and get to like 266 RPM. So in reality, I'm stepping down, you know, less than half. So it's a lot of turning. It's a lot of power for that drill to try to crank this out. Certainly not not what it's designed to do, but I thought it'd be kind of funny. There is a bit of a smell of rubber in the air, so hey, it is what it is. Good times, right? Must have a little bit of an ice plug in my hose or the power washer or something. Just waiting for the pressure to show up. And then I'm gonna blast this thing out with water, knock off all the surface dirt and crud that I can, just to make it a little easier to work with. Probably knock off some of the paint while it's at it, which is fine by me. And then back in the barn it goes. And then I start drilling spot welds and taking it apart one piece at a time in order to turn this car into nothing more than a pile of steel. So once it goes back in, I think the rear end comes out because that's getting donated to a greater cause. Well, that's officially the last time this car is ever going to, I suppose, roll and see the sunlight in one piece. As I mentioned before, it's now time to start taking this car apart even further. That means drilling spot welds and taking out sheet metal and steel, just as it is now, and trying to preserve every bit that can be preserved and repurpose it to fuel other projects. And when you're able to get a hold of a vehicle that otherwise has no hope, that's probably the next best thing. And considering that Chevette parts are few and far between, this type of arrangement is about as good as it can get. It's a shame this car had no ownership. I said before, and I'll say it again, because it would have been a great road car had that been available. A few patches, this car would be ready to rock. But that is not the case here. But that's okay. Sometimes sentimental value can outweigh what it may take to get another vehicle running. But that fella up there on the ramps is actually the first Chevette I ever bought. And I've had high hopes to drive it ever since that moment. And this car is the answer. This is what's going to give me that ability to make that dream come true. And not only will I end up with my other Chevette up on the road, but I think it's going to be a heck of a good time. There's going to be a lot upcoming with this project. I'm going to go through great detail with what's involved in taking this vehicle apart, stripping it down to nothing. So I hope you consider subscribing to follow along this journey with me. I'm going to enlist some help from a friend of mine who is also quite skilled in this type of adventure, let's say. And I think he's going to be a great addition to the team. So you're going to see us collaborate in a few upcoming episodes here. We'll release that information as it becomes available. So thanks again so much for watching. It really is appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It'd be awesome to see a few people getting excited about this like I am. All right, you guys play safe out there, and we'll see you again on the next round. Cheers.